Hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Bessie. My name is Jens Perez, and today I'm going to talk about the book The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. The genre of this book is fiction and gothic novel. I will start with a short summary without spoilers. Basil is painting a portrait of a young man named Dorian Gray, who is exceptionally handsome and charming. Lord Henry Wotton, that is his friend, expressed his philosophy of the importance of beauty and indulging in life pleasures. Dorian arrives at Basil's studio, and the two friends discuss the portrait and Dorian's future. Dorian becomes captivated by Lord Henry's worldview, which emphasizes the pursuit of personal desire and sensation. Dorian wishes that the portrait aged instead of him. Soon after, the painter Basil sends the portrait to Dorian's home, feeling that he had to put much of his soul into it and was therefore incapable of putting it on display. Dorian falls in love with the young and beautiful actress Sylvie Vane. Since he's met her, he attends the theater every night to see her perform in different plays, all of them by Shakespeare. The young man becomes engaged to her and decides to invite his friend Basil and Lord Henry to the theater to meet her. But that night, Sylvie performs abysmally in the role of Juliet, causing half the audience, including Dorian's guest, to leave before the end. After the performance, Dorian questions his relationships and makes a decision that changes everything. To comfort Dorian, Lord Henry lends him a book about sense of world in different eras, which he took as a manual. As Dorian engaged in a life of hedonist pleasures and immoral behavior, his portrait ages and reflects his inner decadence, while he himself remains young and attractive. His portrait was hidden in a locked room in the upper part of his house. Until the age of 38, Dorian had managed to maintain his immaculate beauty and youth. Yet over time, he gained a terrible reputation. After years of not seeing him, the painter Basil reproached Dorian in the face of people's comments. Dorian tells him Dorian tells him that it's his fault and takes him to see the painting. Basil is horrified by the terrible image, and Dorian make a decision that ends their friendships forever. And if you want to read about more this book, you can do it. It's awesome and it's interesting. And as I say, no spoilers. The characters of the stories is the main character, Dorian Gray. At the start of the story, Dorian is described as charming, handsome, and innocent young man. But for the influence of Lord Henry and his philosophy, his personality transforms into one of selfishness, vanity, and coldness, as he remains eternally youthful while his portrait ages and reflects his inner degradation. Other characters are based in Hogwarts that initially he felt a deep admiration of Dorian, but eventually takes one on a more complex and unsettled tone, bordering of in foundations. Lord Henry Wotton is a charismatic and witty aristocrat who exposed a philosophy of indulgence pleasures. He influenced Dorian's transformation by convincing him to embrace his desire and live a life to the fullest. Sylvie Vane is a young and naive actress who captures the Dorian's heart. Her personality is a talent but innocent girl. However, her relationship with Dorian leads her to mistakenly believe that her acting talent had faded due to her newfound love. And James Ben, that is the Sylvie's brother. His personality is characterized by his strong sense of duty and his desire to keep his sister safe from harm. He is impulsive and prone to anger when he believes someone is hurting Sylvie. Now the setting. The story takes place in London at the end of 19th century, known as the Victorian era. The story takes place both in the urban environment of London aristocratic neighborhoods and in the countryside, offering a contrast between city life and rural retreat. In the story are different settings. These are sorry. These are some of their Lady Brandon's house, which is where Basil met Dorian, and it's admired by her beauty so much that he becomes sorry. These are some of their setting in the story. The first is Lady Brandon's house, which is where Basil meets Dorian, and it's admired by her beauty so much that he becomes his muse of inspiration. And the second is Basil Studios, where he paints the portrait of Dorian Gray, representing art and creativity. Okay. The third is Dorian Luxury's home and Lord Henry elegant social gathering symbolize the hedonist lifestyles and opulence of the upper class. The theater where he met Sylvie, which represent a contrast between reality and illusion, as well as contrasts between innocence and decadence. And by other hand, the opium dens and more the improvement areas that appear in the story reveal the darkness aspect of the society where characters like Jordan encounter a different side of life. So recommend. I recommend this book so much because even though many years have passed, today we can still see that people are influenced, mainly the younger one. An example of Lord Henry Wotton in the society will be certain influencers who idealize a perfect body and the fears of aim, as in the book, and the younger one who will be Dorian Gray are fascinated and seeks surgery or injections to stay young, instead some being minors to enter into this ideal and try to remove insecurity that probably didn't have before. It's a fascinating book that we should all take the time to read. Other thing that I like is the secret room that symbolize Dorian's duality. In one hand, he shows the world his facade of youth and beauty while leading a respectable public life. And by the other hand, he hides his age and grotesque portrait that reflects his inner degradations due to his immoral and hedonist acts. Well, that's all for this book. I love read it, and probably I reread again. It's amazing. And thank you for your attention. Bye.